Hi. Hi, Cora. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Henry. This is the story called Miss Rumphius. The story is by Barbara Clooney. Rumphius. How's that for a name? The Lupin Lady lives in a small house overlooking the sea. In between the rocks and around her house grow purple and blue and rose-colored flowers. The Lupin Lady is little and old, but she has not always been that way. I know. She's my great aunt, and she told me so. Once upon a time, she was a little girl named Alice who lived in a city by the sea. From the front stoop, she could see the wharves and the bristling masts of the tall ships. Many years ago, her grandfather had come to America on a tall sailing ship. Now, he worked in the shop at the bottom of the house making figureheads for the prows of ships. That is a figurehead. Can you see? That's where he worked. He carved Indians out of wood and put them in front of cigar stores. For Alice's grandfather was an artist. He painted pictures, too, of sailing ships and places across the sea. And when he was busy, Alice helped him put in the skies. In the evening, Alice sat on her grandfather's knee and listened to his stories of faraway places. When he had finished, Alice would say, "When I grow up, I too want to go to faraway places." When he had finished, oh, she already said that. "And when I grow old, I too will live beside the sea." "That's all very well, little Alice," said her grandfather, "but there's a third thing you must do." "What is that?" asked Alice. "You must do something to make the world more beautiful." "All right," said Alice, but she did not know what that could be. In the meantime, Alice got up, washed her face, and ate porridge for breakfast. She went to school and came home and did her homework, and pretty soon she was grown up. Then my great aunt Alice set out to do the 3 things she had told her grandfather she was going to do. Can you see it? She left home and went to live in another city far from the sea and the salt air. There she worked in a library, dusting books and keeping them from getting mixed up, and helping people find the ones they wanted. Some of the books told her about faraway places. People called her Miss Rumphius now. Sometimes she went to the conservatory in the middle of the park. When she stepped inside on a wintry day, the warm, moist air wrapped around itself and her, and the sweet smell of jasmine filled her nose. "This is almost like a tropical isle," said Miss Rumphius, "but not quite." There's the conservatory, and there she is inside. So Miss Rumphius went on a trip to a real tropical island where people kept cockatoos and monkeys as pets. She walked on long beaches picking up beautiful shells, and one day she met Bappa Raja, king of a fishing village. "You must be tired," he said. "Come into my house and rest." So Miss Rumphius went in and met the Bappa Raja's wife. The Bappa Raja himself fetched a green coconut and cut a slice off the top so Miss Rumphius could drink the coconut water inside. Before she left, the Bappa Raja gave her a beautiful mother of pearl shell on which he had painted a bird of paradise. and the words, "You will always remain in my heart." "You will always remain in mine too," said Miss Rumphius. My great aunt Alice Rumphius climbed the tall mountains where snow never melted. She went through jungles and across deserts. She saw lions playing and kangaroos jumping, and everywhere she made friends she would never forget. Finally, she came to the land of the lotus eaters, and there, getting off a camel, she hurt her back. "What a foolish thing to do," said Miss Rumphius. "Well, I certainly have seen faraway places. Maybe it's time to find my place by the sea." And it was, and she did. But here she is on the camel. Oh, looks like she's holding her back, like it hurts. Time to move to a place by the sea, like where we live. From the porch of her new house, Miss Rumphius watched the sun come up. She watched it cross the heavens and sparkle on the water, and she saw it set in glory every evening. She started a little garden among the rocks that surrounded her house, and she planted a few flower seeds in the stony ground. Miss Rumphius was almost perfectly happy. "But there's still one more thing I have to do," she said. "I have to do something to make the world more beautiful." "But what? The world is already pretty nice," she thought, looking over the ocean. Look at her little house. The next spring, Miss Rumphius was not very well. Her back was bothering her. Can you see her? Okay. Her back was bothering her again, and she had to stay in bed most of the time. The flowers she had planted the summer before had come up and bloomed in spite of the stony ground. She could see them from her bedroom window, blue and purple and rose colors. "Lupins," said Miss Rumphius with satisfaction. "I have always loved lupins the best. I wish I could plant more seeds this summer so I could still have more flowers next year." But she was not able to. These are the flowers she's talking about, lupin. Here she is in the winter. After a hard winter, spring came. It always does. Miss Rumphius was feeling much better, and now she could take walks again. One afternoon she started to go up and over the hill where she had not been for a very long time. "I don't believe my eyes," she cried when she got to the top. For there on the other side of the hill was a large patch of blue and purple and rose-colored lupins. "It was the wind," she said as she knelt in delight. "It was the wind that brought the seeds from my garden here, and the birds must have helped." Then Miss Rumphius had a wonderful idea. Oops, I'm covering up the kitty cat. See him? Do you know what her idea was? Well, let's find out. She hurried home and got out her seed catalog. She sent off to the very best seed house for 5 bushels of lupin seed. That's like 5 big baskets. Like bushel is a basket that big around. Anyway, all that summer, Miss Rumphius, her pockets full of seeds, wandered over fields and headlands, sowing lupins. She scattered the seeds along the highways and across country lanes. She flung handfuls of them around the schoolhouse and the back of the church. She tossed them into hollows along stone walls, and her back didn't hurt her at all. Some people started calling her that crazy old lady. The next spring, there were lupins everywhere. Fields and hillsides were covered with blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. You see them all? Look at them. They bloomed along the highways and down the lanes. Bright patches lay around the schoolhouse and in the back of the church. Down in the hollows and along the stone walls grew the beautiful flowers. Miss Rumphius had done the third and the most difficult thing of all. My great Aunt Alice, Miss Rumphius, is very old now. Her hair is very white. Every year there are more and more lupins, and now they call her the Lupine Lady. Sometimes my friends stand with me outside her gate, curious to see the old lady who planted the fields of lupins. When she invites us in, they come slowly. I don't get that. They think she is the oldest woman in the world, and often she tells us stories of faraway places. When I grow up, I tell her, I too will go to faraway places and come home to live by the sea. That's all very well, little Alice, said my aunt, but there's a third thing you must do. What is that? I ask. You must do something to make the world more beautiful. All right, I say. Here are the children coming to visit her at the gate. And here is old Miss Rumphius with her white hair. And look at all the children. But I do not know yet what that can be. What do you think she'll do to make the world more beautiful? Look at all of these beautiful, beautiful flowers. That's the end. So Alice has to figure out what it's going to be to make the world more beautiful. What might you do to make the world more beautiful? So something to think about every day. Mwah! Love you guys. Bye.